Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rahmat Budiman, the AAOU Secretary General, and I would like to announce the winners of the AAOU Awards 2021. We all have been waiting for this moment, and we are as excited as you are in knowing who have won the much coveted Young Innovator Award, Best Practice Award, and Best Paper Award, with 1 gold medal, 2 silver medals for each category. And of course, the most importantly, we will find out the winner of the prestigious award, AAOU Meritorious Service Award. Let's start with Young Innovator Award. As you know, the Young Innovator Award goes to young, energetic, less than 40 years old scholars. Each year, the Young Innovator Award goes to individuals whose papers show quality, relevance, uniqueness, and success and impact of innovation to the theory and practice of open and distance learning. This year, we have 1 candidate for the Young Innovator Award. The only paper was evaluated by the adjudication committees. 3 appointed persons as the adjudication committees were the chair, Professor Kandar Padas, Vice Chancellor at Krishna Kanta Hindikwi Open University, India. The members are Professor Ok Kim, Professor at Departments of Media, Arts and Cultural Content, Korea National Open University, Dr. Yosef Sabah, Assistant Professor at Al-Quds Open University, Palestine. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now announce upon this assessment. It has been decided that the silver medal of the AAOU Young Innovator Award 2021 is bestowed upon Mr. Kamran Mir from Allama Iqbal Open University, Pakistan, for his paper titled Development of H5P Interactive Video Content in Moodle to Improve the Learner's Engagement in Online Learning. Congratulations to our sole winner of the Young Innovator Award. We hope to motivate you and every young academician to produce and contribute more of the ODL works and follow the footsteps of Mr. Kamran Mir in the future. The silver medalists will be granted a certificate, a plaque, and cash award of $250. Now let's find out the winner for the Best Practice Award. This award goes to the paper that shows significant practice developed to improve process, method, and show potential for such practice to be replicated and other institutions may adopt, leading to the betterment of ODL practice. This year, the adjudication committees of this award comprise of the first, Professor Alan Tate, Emeritus Professor of Distance Education and Development at the Open University, UK, as the chair. The second, Professor Ho Sung-wo, Professor at Department of E-Learning, Korea National Open University. And the third, Professor Yosef Abuzir, Professor at Al-Quds Open University, Palestine, as the members. For your kind information, there are 6 out of 11 papers which are shortlisted for this award. And here are the authors of the 6 shortlisted papers. The silver medalist for the Best Practice Award goes to and the gold medal for the Best Practice Award goes to Again, congratulations to all the winners of the Best Practice Award. The gold medalist will be granted a certificate, plaque, and cash award of $500, while the silver medalist will be granted a certificate, plaque, and cash award of $250. Now let's move on to the Best Paper Award. We also have the Best Paper Award, which goes to individuals whose paper has relevance of content to the theme and sub-themes of the conference and have a significant contribution to the ODL. The adjudication committees for this award were Professor Lee Kam Cheong, Director of Research at Open University of Hong Kong, as the chair, while the members are Professor Siti Aisyah Hashim, Professor at Open University Malaysia, Dr. Zahid Majeed, Director of Academic Planning and Course Production at Allama Iqbal Open University, Pakistan. 6 out of 12 papers are shortlisted for this award, and here are the authors of the 6 shortlisted papers. The silver medalist for Best Paper Award goes to and the gold medal for the Best Paper Award goes to Congratulations to all the winners of the Best Paper Award. Keep pouring your ideas into valuable writings, and we are always looking forward to more of your masterpieces. The gold medalists will be granted a certificate, plaque, and cash award of $500, while the silver medalists will be granted a certificate, plaque, and cash award of $250. Finally, the most awaited of all, the prestigious AAOU Meritorious Service Award. It has been the tradition of the AAOU to recognize outstanding individuals who have made significant and lasting contribution to the field of distance education and open learning through AAOU Meritorious Service Award, or MSA. 3 appointed persons who were also the recipients of the past AAOU Meritorious Service Award was chosen this year. They are Professor Tian Belawati, former Rector at Universitas Terbuka, as the chair, and the members Professor Wei Yuan Zhang, former Head and Chief Researcher at Space University of Hong Kong, who is currently working at Beijing Normal University, and Dr. Nafid A. Malik, founder and former rector at Virtual University of Pakistan, who currently works for Commonwealth of Learning. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to inform you that this year we have received quite many nominations for this award. There are 17 candidates of the AAOU Meritorious Service Award 2021. It was not an easy task to evaluate so many talents and inspiring persons, but every single document we received has been evaluated thoroughly by the appointed adjudication committees. After rigorous process of the assessment, I hereby announce the winner of the AAOU Meritorious Service Award 2021 goes to Professor Dr. Melinda de la Peña Bandalaria from the University of the Philippines Open University, or UPOU. Professor Dr. Melinda de la Peña Bandalaria has served in the Open and Distance Learning, or ODL sector, as an academic leader in the University of the Philippines for 2 decades. Thanks to all nominators who have sent us nominations for the AAOU MSA this year. We are truly grateful for the excitement from our members this year. Therefore, now I would also like to show you all more inspiring persons from the AAOU MSA nominations who are in the top of 10. Please check and enjoy.
Well, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. A very warm greeting from Jakarta, Indonesia. My name is Rahmat Budiman, the Secretary General of the AAOU. First of all, I would like to say hello to the all AAOU lovers, ODL enthusiasts, lecturers, students, and then I would like also to welcome the presidents of the AAOU, Professor Ojat, Darojat, who are with us today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to remind you that our today's theme is challenges and opportunities of ODL post-COVID-19. This topic or this theme must be very interesting, as we are all aware that the COVID-19 is experienced by all nations, including us who are working in open distance learning institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are quite fortunate today because the Ministry of Nationals of Indonesia, Ministry of Research, Technology and Research and Technology, Mr. Nadiem Makarim, is giving his welcoming remarks, which is pre-recorded, and then he expressed his best regard to all viewers today. Please, our staff, to play the welcoming remarks from Mr. Nadiem Makarim. Thank you.
Saya hormati Ketua Asian Association of Open University, Bapak Ojat Darojat, Ibu dan Bapak peserta webinar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu. Saat ini, optimisme untuk pulih dari pandemi menjadi semangat yang menggerakkan kita untuk melompat ke depan. Semangat ini sangat kita butuhkan untuk mewujudkan kehidupan yang lebih baik di masa mendatang, khususnya untuk perbaikan sistem pendidikan kita. Seperti yang kita ketahui bersama, pandemi telah mengubah cara belajar anak-anak kita secara drastis, dari yang melibatkan interaksi dan tatap muka langsung menjadi harus dilakukan secara daring. Bagi kebanyakan kampus, perubahan ini menuntut adaptasi yang cukup lama dan sulit. Hal ini membuktikan bahwa pendidikan kita belum mampu menghadapi perubahan yang bisa terjadi dengan sangat cepat dalam skala global. Dalam hal ini, Universitas Terbuka sudah menjadi contoh bagi kampus-kampus lain. Saya yakin banyak sekali pengalaman dan praktik baik dari Universitas Terbuka yang bisa dibagikan untuk pengembangan sistem pembelajaran yang lebih fleksibel dan akomodatif bagi mahasiswa. Bekal pengalaman ini harus menjadi bahan refleksi untuk menghadirkan inovasi baru. Kita terus memandang ke arah depan, mempersiapkan mahasiswa dan dosen kita dengan kemampuan dan pengetahuan yang semakin dibutuhkan di masa depan. Karena itu, Kemendikbudristek meluncurkan terobosan untuk mengakselerasi peningkatan kualitas pendidikan, Merdeka Belajar, Kampus Merdeka. Sekarang kualitas kampus dinilai dengan yang namanya IKU, Indikator Kerja Utama. Dengan adanya IKU ini, tidak hanya mahasiswa yang kita dorong untuk belajar di luar kampus, tetapi dosen-dosennya juga ditingkatkan motivasinya untuk terus belajar dan berkembang dengan beraktivitas di luar kampus. Misalnya dengan magang di industri atau melakukan riset di perguruan tinggi lain. Sebagai upaya untuk mendorong pencapaian IKU, kami di Kemendikbudristek juga menyediakan competitive fund bagi kampus yang berhasil meningkatkan kualitas pembelajaran serta kompetensi mahasiswa dan pengajarnya sesuai dengan ke-8 indikator dalam IKU. Saya percaya bahwa perguruan tinggi hanya bisa berinovasi jika para dosennya diberikan kesempatan untuk mendapatkan ilmu baru. Sebab pertukaran ilmu seharusnya tidak terjadi hanya di dalam kampus, tetapi juga lintas institusi. Tujuannya agar kita saling belajar dan terus bergotong royong dalam berinovasi dan bertransformasi ke arah yang lebih baik. Ini kesempatan yang perlu diambil oleh Universitas Terbuka untuk mengembangkan pendidikan yang fleksibel dengan tetap mengedepankan kualitas. Oleh karena itu, kunci dari berkembangnya universitas terbuka adalah kampus yang memerdekakan mahasiswa dan dosennya untuk terus berkembang, terus berinovasi. Dengan semangat melompat ke masa depan, mari kita terus bergerak serta mewujudkan Merdeka Belajar, Kampus Merdeka. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Shanti 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Nadiem Makarim. And now I would like to invite the presidents of the AAOU, Professor Ojat Darojat, to deliver his opening remarks. Your Honor, Professor Ojat Darojat, the mic and screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ahmad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this blessed Thursday morning, I'm pleased to meet you all again on the second episode of AAOU Webinar Series 2022. Hope everyone who is watching this right now is on the best health and mood. As always, AAOU is here providing beneficial forum for everyone who are into ODL. We hope every single program we initiate will always leave the audience with broader understanding and knowledge on the recent issues in distant higher education. And first of all, let me say thank you to Mr. Nadiem Makarim, the Minister of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, for taking the time and giving us a welcome remarks. Hopefully, what you have just mentioned will motivate youth to keep innovating for the better future of education, especially in distant higher education context. Furthermore, I would like to greet our distinguished speakers, Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Izanee, Awang, the Vice Chancellor of Open University of Malaysia, OUM. Salam, sir. It's my pleasure to see you all today. Then a friend of mine, Dr. Zahid Majeed, the Director of Academic Planning and Course Diffraction from Allama Iqbal Open University, Pakistan. Thanks, brother, for accepting our invitations to speak in our forum today. Always pleased to see you again. And last but not least, the important role who will lead our sharing session today, the moderator. Hello, Mr. Raveenthiran Vivekanantharasa from Open University of Sri Lanka. I'm pleased to meet you. We have first visits to me today, and I hope the webinar will go smoothly under your lead. Okay, our dear participants, continuing to our last issue, the shift of ODL post-COVID-19. Today, we will listen to the discussion of ODL under the theme Challenges and Opportunities of ODL post-COVID-19. As we know, for some part of the world, this pandemic is gradually overcome very well, and some institutions have gone back to face-to-face meeting, especially in commercial universities. We will hear some insights from our speakers today regarding the challenges might be encountered by ODL when everything has gone back to the normal, and what greater changes we, the ODL stakeholders, can seize when the time comes. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, keep yourself seated and stay tuned till the end of this webinar. Please be actively engaged in the webinar so you won't miss any single informations and knowledge you can take. Thank you very much for taking time to attend our webinar. Stay safe and have a good day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Professor Ojat, the President of the AAOU. Ladies and gentlemen, our today webinar is quite colorful. We have Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Izanee Awang from Malaysia, Dr. Zahid Majeed from Pakistan, and then our moderator, Dr. Raveenthiran Vivekanantharasa from Sri Lanka. And from the list of the participants, I can see in a glance, we have some participants from Malaysia, Indonesia, Korea, China, and also Pakistan. And then we ask the numbers of participants are increasing. Thank you. Before we continue to the next session, I would like to introduce our moderator today, Mr. Raveenthiran Vivekanantharasa, BEd, HNDE, DITech, CTHE, MBA, MPhil, Ph.D. from Department of Secondary and Tertiary Education, Faculty of Education, the Open University of Sri Lanka. If I see the CV, yeah, there are quite a lot of achievement, but let me read the latest achievement Mr. Vive achieved. And then for your information that his research interest is in distance education, child education, and also English. From the journal article and then also conference papers, you can use your Google Scholars. I am quite sure you can find his publication. Ladies and gentlemen, his interested area is, as I mentioned, is educational management and leadership, online teaching and learning, special education, and child right. And then Mr. Vive received awards. The first is received an award in the category of the best lecturer. Once again, the best lecturer, Sri Lanka in International Edu Ixon Award Ceremony 2022. Excuse me, 2021. And then received an Academic Excellence Award in the second Digital Education Summit organized by SIAD, India, in association with Global Opportunities Globalization Australia and Global Talk Education Foundation, India, from 29 to 30 of July. Received a Research Leadership Award in an international virtual conference in Athens, Greece, September 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our main session today. I would like to hand over this mic and the screen to our moderator, Dr. Raveenthiran Vivekanantharasa.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So good morning to everyone, even good afternoon, various part of the country, even Korea, Pakistan, and even Sri Lanka and some other countries. So related with the AAOU. So thank you very much, sir, for the brief and deep introduction about me. So with thanking to that. So once again, I have to thank for this opportunity for being called me as a moderator for this wonderful webinar. So I have to thank everyone from AAOU, especially that AAU president, so and secretary AAU and the Ministry of Education. We had a speech earlier from respective sir, the minister, and all the special. I have to tell about the eminent speakers today. I was astonished after looking at the CV. Also very wonderful. I'm very happy to be a moderator to this kind of eminent speakers from Pakistan and even Malaysia. So I learned so many things from the CV, how to develop myself also. That's amazing. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. For the both speakers and all the participants from various part of the country, even Korea, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Malaysia, and some other countries. So I thank everyone for this opportunity. With thanking to you all, so I can lead this webinar successfully. I need all the supports from you. So not only by me, so you all have to support me for this webinar to lead this webinar successfully. So with that, I move to the first section. So first we should know the rules and regulations of this webinar. You know, that first of all, I have to tell about the topic. That's wonderful. That's amazing. So you know, the current situation that we are living after this COVID pandemic, we have just moved from the situation. Anyway, we are having that effects of COVID-19. So COVID, you know, it made us to learn so many things, like how we can learn when we don't have the face-to-face interaction. So we learn so many things, you know, as we all are academics and educators. So that's one of the major thing I have to mention, that ODL. So open distance learning, how it is important in the time of COVID. We learned, we experienced, we enjoyed, even I can say we enjoyed that ODL. So as based on that, today's topic is, you know, the challenges and opportunities of ODL post-COVID. So you know that though we experience in the time of COVID-19, so we had used that ODL, and we face so many challenges. Even the opportunities also were there. So how the opportunities and challenges, even we can say how we can come back from the challenges, how we can develop the opportunities further. Based on that, we have selected the title, or even the topic, challenges and opportunities of the ODL post-COVID. So with that, you know, again I come back to the rules and regulation. You know, so we have two eminent speakers from Malaysia and Pakistan. I will deeply tell about them when I come to the first speaker and the second speaker. So the webinar regulation, I have to tell you. So all the participants and everyone, we have to consider this webinar regulation. You know that before we have to consider the three concept in the as a webinar regulation. You know that before sending your question, after the deep and concise speech of each eminent speaker, participant can can raise their questions. So we will give time, and you can type the question in the chat box. I will read it out, and the respective speaker will answer you to your question. So when you raise the question, when you write a question in the chat box, you just write your country, even the institution that you have come today. So you know the example. For example, we have mentioned here, if one person from Korea, so even the Open University of Korea, so he can mention the Open University of Korea, Open University of Malaysia, like even Open University of Sri Lanka. So second webinar regulation, I have to mention that prerequisites of getting the certificate. You know that the participants today will receive certificate after filling the feedback form. So we will share the feedback form in the chat box while the session is going on. So please be quiet and wait for the opportunity of the certificate. So not only getting the certificate, you have to be very clear on the topic that we are going to discuss today. That's very important thing. So rather than getting the certificate, so you have to fill the Google form. We will share the Google form. So after filling that, you have to make some information in the Google form. After that, your information will be recorded and you can receive the certificate. Then the third regulations, that question will be after, when you ask the question, when you have the time for the question, you can type in the chat box, or else you can raise a hand and you can ask the question. So it's better to type the question in the chat box. I will read it out, and the respective speaker will answer the question. So at the time you can get more ideas about the question. So these are the main regulations of this webinar. With this regulation, I come to the point that the session of the first speaker. So before introducing the speaker, I have to tell about the topic, the title. Even you can see the title that we are going to discuss today. Challenges and opportunities of ODL post-COVID. You know the importance of ODL even after the COVID pandemic. We have experienced even the positive things and the negative things are there when we think about the COVID. So just we will take the positive. So because the negative, we should not remember the negatives. That negative will be the lesson, but we should try to forget the negative, because we cannot remember the negative every time. But with the positive things we have to remember, we have to develop the positive. The ODL is one of the positive advantage that we got from the COVID-19 in the time of the COVID-19, even after the COVID-19. So how we utilize the ODL system in the time of COVID-19, maybe I think maybe 2-3 years before, and how were the challenges and the opportunities that we had, then how we are going to use it in the future, in the near future. That's the main point of this today's webinar. So for that, to describe the thing very clearly, we have invited two eminent, successful, very respected speaker. So I come to the first speaker, none other than our first keynote speaker, Associate Professor and Dr. Ahmad Izanee Awang. So that I can, when I read the bio and even the CV of respective the first speaker, Associate Professor and the Dr. Ahmad Izanee Awang, I was astonished. I was wonder, how can I develop myself also through this successful career development and academic excellence. Everything was successful there. So I can read the bio note of Dr. Associate Professor Ahmad Izanee Awang. Ahmad Izanee Awang, he is the current president and the vice chancellor of the Open University of Malaysia. Before that, he had many positions and the responsibilities. So I will read it out. You can understand that when I read it out. So he has more than 30 years of experience in education and in education and management. That's one point I have to emphasize here. He has served at several public and private higher education institutions prior to joining OUM in 2006. With that, his expertise lies in adult education and education leadership. He started his OUM career as a director of one of OUM learning centers in East Coast of Malaysia in November 2006. So with that, I have to tell about sir's academics, the educational qualification also. So first of all, sir completed his Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, specialization in mathematics from the University of New South Wales in 1990. After that, he completed a diploma in education from University of Technology, Malaysia in 1996. So, moreover, Master of Science in Educational Administration from University Futa, Malaysia in 2001. With that, he finally achieved the Ph.D, the Doctor of Education from University of Selangor in 2012. So with this educational qualification, sir has achieved so many things in his expertise, and further to develop some areas with his expertise. So since his early teaching days at local bounding school, he has been an active participant in community service. He believes in the promotion of school innovation as a research outcomes. At the national level, Dr. Ahmad Ismi has contributed his knowledge and expertise in developing the Malaysia education blueprint during the time 2015 and 2025 in the area of higher education, in collaboration with the Ministry of Higher Education. So moreover, I can read it further, sir, that area is and area of expertise and further academic achievement. So he, from his position, you know that from the current position, the Vice Chancellor of Open University of Malaysia, before that he has achieved, he had many positions with his expertise and with his qualification. You know that he was the head of the Department Assessment Examination Division in 2015. With that, his expertise in the field of educational management and vast experience teaching in administration, he was appointed as a university registrar in 2016. Before being promoted to General Manager, Business Development and Support Service in 2019. Associate Professor was responsible for 6 major portfolios in different areas such as business development, property development and maintenance, security, information technology, learning centers, and activity assessment. So I am really wanted to read this bio because sir has achieved so many things with his expertise. So with this introduction, I kindly invite Dr. and Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Ismi Awang to deliver the speech on the title that we have selected today. I cordially invite you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vivekanantharasa, for the lengthy introduction of me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Honorable Minister of Education, Culture, Research and Technology Indonesia, Mr. Nadiem Anwar Makarim, Honorable Professor Ojat Darojat, the President of AAOU and Rector of Universitas Terbuka Indonesia, Professor Ahmad Budiman, the AAOU Secretary General, esteemed speakers, guests, participants, and secretariat members of AAOU Second Webinar Series for 2022. On behalf of Open University Malaysia, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me to deliver a keynote address in this webinar today. I certainly feel very honored to be given this opportunity to deliver the keynote address for the first time after I assume office as the VC of Open University Malaysia. Let me share my slide. Okay, the title for my presentation this morning is Challenges and Opportunities of ODL post-COVID, post-COVID-19, but I am more inclined towards sharing the OUM experience. That's why I add OUM experience at the end of this title. By the way, can everyone see my slide, my presentation slide?
Not yet.
Oh, I have
Okay.
shared now. Hold on, let me try again.
Still not yet, sir.
Okay, let me try again.
Okay, sir.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
All right. Let me put on slide.
Yeah, slide. Yeah, you can make it slide mode, sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Yeah. Okay, let me start my presentation by referring to a famous quote by Charles Darwin, who said, "It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but who can best manage change." This is a very famous quote, and I guess every one of us are very familiar with this. Okay, my presentation today consists of 4 parts. The first one is pre-COVID, what we do and what we have. Second part is during COVID, opportunities and initiative. The third part is post-COVID, moving on. And the last one is summary. Let me share with you the higher education landscape in Malaysia before COVID. We have 20 public universities, 53 private universities, 10 foreign branch campuses, 37 university colleges, and 347 private colleges. So in total, we have 447 private higher education institutions, which includes ODL institutions. As we all know, about 99% of them are conventional setup institutions, whereas about 1% only are ODL institutions in Malaysia. In 2018, total number of higher education student enrollment was 1.325 million. Out of this 1.325 million, over 666,000 enrolled in private higher education institutions, out of which about 574,000 were local and 92,000 plus were foreign students. This shows 50.3% of the students pursuing higher education in Malaysia are in private higher education institutions. This is just to share with you the higher education landscape in Malaysia before COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, before COVID, everybody was doing their business as usual. OUM was offering 54 academic programs, ranges from diploma until doctorate programs. As for OUM, from the very beginning, our mode of delivery was blended pedagogy, which is also the practice of other ODL institutions. Just to recap, blended pedagogy comprises of 3 main components, that is face-to-face interaction, online learning, and self-managed learning. Under normal circumstances, in all universities, including OUM, final examinations were conducted with physical presence of candidates in the exam hall and administered by invigilators. The reason why I mentioned these 2 things is because I want to relate with the initiatives that we do during COVID. Now let us have a look at labor force in Malaysia as of November 2018. Also, I am referring to pre-COVID duration period. This is reported by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health Malaysia. From the slide, we can see that Malaysian labor force participation rate was 68.4%. They are in the range of 15 to 64 years of age. Unemployment rate was 3.3%, and this figure seems to be consistent in November 2017, October 2018, and November 2018, respectively. With the number of labor force, 15.46 million in November 2018, that was an increase of 2.5% compared to that of November 2017. So out of this 15.46 million, 14.94 million are employed. The rest, 31.6%, which are not in the labor force category in Malaysia, they are housewives, full-time students, retirees, and those who are not interested to work. Now let's move to during COVID period. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned by Professor Ahmad Budiman at the beginning of this session this morning, COVID pandemic has greatly changed every single landscape of the world. People who were previously employed suddenly found themselves unemployed or asked to work from home. Students who attended physical campus environment were forced to study online. Changes that have happened were really beyond everyone's imagination, neither pre-planned by most of us. In their effort to combat COVID-19, as well as to ease the consequences of the people who are affected by the pandemic, Malaysian government has introduced various actions and policies, such as work from home policy, forced online learning, and many other related policies. Because of this, we found that people started to accept online thing. Not only study online, but almost everything were done online, including shopping online. Online shopping, yeah? People started to embrace and believe in online education. Most institutions struggling hard to adapt to online teaching and learning delivery for their own survival and sustainability. For ODL universities in nature like OUM, UT, and other open universities throughout the world, I believe this situation has certainly given a lot of advantages to us. While others were struggling hard to convert from conventional into online mode of delivery, OUM basically has all it takes to offer its program through fully online mode. We have a comprehensive learning management platform. We have good quality of digital learning materials. We also have digital library with extensive collection of e-books, journals, articles, and other references. We do have online support system, plus many other facilities that certainly give advantages to us in the context of teaching and learning in fully online mode. This is an opportunity for us, and we became ahead of others, even with the public universities in the country. Besides that, working from home period has provided conveniences for the working people to continue their study online. This is, of course, in line with the tagline of OUM, learning from anywhere and at any time. From the blended pedagogy, the only change was on the face-to-face part, where OUM has replaced it with synchronous tutorial session managed by online tutors. We have about 800 active online tutors conducting live tutorials for more than 600 subjects or courses. On top of the readily available supports for online learning, what are other initiatives taken by OUM in order to remain ahead of others? Number one is the use of online interactive activities in learning, such as synchronous and asynchronous forum, enhancement of digital contents, plus other open education resources, OER, to create an engaging course page. Number 2, mode of assessment for certain subjects were also reviewed as necessary, as long as they adhere to the program standards as set by the Malaysian Qualification Agency. There are a variety of assessment methods such as essay, MCQ, portfolio submission, and many other methods. Number 3, introduction of e-lesson for self-instructional material for self-learning. The use of H5P as a tool for creating an engaging learning experience where students can watch videos and participate in forum discussion. So those are some of the examples that we have taken initiative by introducing e-lessons for self-instructional materials. Next one is OUM has also introduced online examination to replace normal conducts of examination as previously practiced. This initiative has enabled us to reduce tremendously, not only in terms of processes, but also time and cost. All we need is a good system for online assessment. The other one is grading of assessment and of assignments and examination papers were also done via online. So these are among the initiatives that we have taken, OUM has taken during the COVID to improve, to ensure the quality of education not affected. On top of those, OUM has provided IT facilities for academic staff to support online teaching and learning and work from home. So we provided each to each of our academic staff with a laptop. So they have no excuse not to have classes and conduct tutorials online. In order to encourage students to enroll, OUM offers 10% discount on tuition fee. This is also part of OUM's response to the pandemic for the society. So this is another opportunity for us to attract more students to join. Just for information, at present, OUM has a total number of 28,000 active learners and graduates of more than 90,000. New student intake for 2021, this is a manifestation of those initiatives. We can see that new student intake for 2021 has shown a significant increase of 14% from 9,034 in 2020 to 10,304 in 2021. So inshallah, for this year, we are targeting about not less than 11,000 new students. So hopefully with this initiative, we can attract more students to come. Okay, now let's move on to the post-COVID, moving on for post-COVID era to ensure sustainability. No matter what we do or whatever initiative we offer, it is our tall responsibility to ensure the quality of education will always remain intact. To further prepare for the future, few enhancements are ongoing, such as question bank, online examination proctoring to ensure credibility of the examination conduct, widening online support and processes, staff readiness through specialized training, and also mobile apps development. We are also exploring collaboration with international market to offer our programs abroad and recruiting international students from all over the world. For the benefit of the staff, we are reviewing, we always review work from home and safety policies. Apart from that, we are also moving towards micro credentials through short-term courses, personalized offering of courses, outcome-based stackability plus recognition of non-formal learning, which can be related to accreditation for prior experiential learning, or APEL. In Malaysia, we call it APEL. Enhancing reputation as ODL for adult learning. This is by giving opportunity for marginalized group. This is in line with UNESCO's goal, and we are giving opportunity to single parent, people above 60 years old, inmates in prison, discount for disabled, and few other incentives. We are also enhancing branding work through digital marketing, online initiatives, WhatsApp marketing, electronic marketing, and website marketing, so that more people are aware of our existence and products. In ensuring all this, we are willing to spend a significant amount of money in digital transformation so that our online support system will be intelligent and effective enough to cater the needs of our online students. Moving ahead, we have established a few themes for OEM to focus on. Two of them, among them are, number one is growth, and the second is sustainability. Growth is important in order for university to grow and expand further. So we have to ensure the academic programs that we offer are competitive and cater the needs of the industry. We also have to ensure the research potential is explored, and we have to have more research in the near future. For sustainability, is important to ensure university keeps survive and sustain in the future. So we are, beside generating income from the primary products, we are also looking for other sources of income for the university. And we also plan to grow and go international so that we can attract more international students to enroll in OUM program. Okay, in summary, these are phases that OUM is going through. If you see, before COVID, we put a lot of efforts in making ourselves more attractive. We run business as usual. We plan for continuous growth for the university and whatever it takes to grow. When COVID came, we were maximizing our coverage by adapting to the situation, turning challenges into opportunities, introducing and enhancing initiative. We not only introduce new things, but we also enhance whatever initiative that we have. We have to be more creative in what we are doing. Moving on after COVID, we are expanding our revenue options by becoming a leading provider in online programs offering. And to move on, we are uplifting our organization capabilities by proactively managing organization risks, shortcomings, and challenges, embarking on digital transformation project to ensure our online support is at the best that we can, and the student can have good learning experience when they enroll or study with us at OUM. Finally, I think that's all for my presentation this morning. And finally, let me sincerely thank the Secretariat of today's webinar for the very well organized and smooth event. Let's hope that we will be able to meet in person very soon. With that note, I thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Really, we had a good time and enjoyable time with your presentation. We learned many things. Even as a moderator, I learned so many things. I hope the participants also learn many things about your presentation, sir, regarding the challenges and opportunities of ODL during the COVID time, the pre-COVID time, the post-COVID time. So I hope a participant will type the question in the chat box if they want to ask any, if they want to clear with anything with sir. So I again extend my thanks, Professor Dr. Ahmad Izanee from the Open University Malaysia for this wonderful presentation. So sir really had the had a good presentation, how it links with the sustainability and how it will helpful for the sustainable education, the ODL system. Really wonderful, sir. Thank you very much. So with that, I again remember the participants who have joined here. You can type the question and please again, I remember the regulations and the rules of the webinar. You can type the question in the chat box. You can raise your hand also. We will give the time to ask the question, and also the certificate link will be shared. You can wait for that. And the time, I want to tell that the time for each respective speaker is 30 minutes, but sir definitely, actually he had the actual time duration. He finished on time. So thank you, sir. With thanking, sir. So I move to the second eminent speaker today. So I just, it's another amazing, I want to tell, it's another amazing CV. So I don't have much time to read it out everything. Anyway, I can just concise the CV. So Dr. Zahid Majeed from Open University, Pakistan, Islamabad. So the academic qualification, you know, sir, has completed bachelor to bachelor degrees and master degrees to 3 master degrees. Such excellent qualification, really, I wonder with that. So with all these bachelor degree and master degree, the MPhil, he completed his MPhil in the field of inclusive education during the time 2015 and 16. From that, finally he achieved the PhD in special education 2016 in AAOU. So with that, the employment history is wonderful. Currently, sir, he's in the University Islamabad, the Allama Iqbal Open University Islamabad. He's leading the position, the Director Academic Planning and Course Production from 1st of July and 2019 to present. With that, in the same university, he is leading some other postings, Director of International Collaboration and the Exchange Office, and the Assistant Professor Several Education, and so many things I can tell here in the employment records. With that, rather than the employment records, it has the part-time services and the consultancy with some international organization, UNESCO, World Bank, and USAID, AIR, Engage. With that, he has involved with number of national and international projects. It is nearly 30, you know. So skills and more than 10 fields of roles as a master trainer and a researcher, and training manuals and material developer. And with that, he has enlarged his expertise in different areas, you know, that online learning, micro teaching, special education, inclusive education, human rights for disabled people. Moreover, Dr. Zahid Majeed has a volunteer service in records with number of volunteer works, and he has nearly 20 research experience and more than 5 social responsibility records. With that, he has more than 20 publications, journal articles, and research abstract, book chapters, and everything, nearly 20, more than 20. So with that, in his academic career, another witness his contribution is the supervising the master MPhil students, and the MPhil students leading to the PhD. He has achieved that record also. Under his guidance, many students have achieved MPhil's, master, and PhDs. So this is the short. I can tell the short bio because I simply concise that. So it is enlarging many pages, page to pages. Anyway, I just concise. So once again, with the bio reading, I cordially invite Dr. Zahid Majeed from Open University, Pakistan, to deliver the speech as a second speaker. So I just want to mention that the time duration again, the 30 minutes. So it's over to you, sir, Dr. Zahid Majeed from Open University, Pakistan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are audible. You can.
Okay. So let me share my slides first to save the time. Okay. So can you see my slides?
Yes, sir. It's coming. You can make it a slide mode, sir.
Yeah, it's working now, I think.
Okay, sir. Now fine.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for the very long introduction. I was thinking just I have few minutes for the presentation. So thank you very much for the very kind introduction. My affiliation with AAOU is not a new one. I have been engaged with the AAOU for a long time, and I'm very thankful to the AAOU that they are having Allama Iqbal Open University with them. Actually, Allama Iqbal Open University is a founder and member of this AAOU in 1988, when this idea was developed by a few universities in Hong Kong. So Allama Iqbal Open University is among those 5 or 6 members who are thinking about a platform for the Asian Association of Open Universities. So we are from very beginning of this association. So on the behalf of Allama Iqbal Open University, I'm thankful to the AAOU Secretariat, especially my brother and friend, Professor Dr. Ojat Darojat. He is always kind to me, and we are thankful to him too, that he always providing opportunities to share our experience and knowledge and whatever we have with the audience of Asian Open Universities. I'm thankful also for the Minister, Mr. Nadiem Anwar. He was with us at the beginning at inaugural session. Professor Ahmad is a so kind person that he's always available for the open universities in Asia. And he's so hardworking and committed person. I really appreciate because we as a executive member, committee member, we always disturb, we always creating problem for Professor Ahmad. He's so patient and absorbing all of us, and he's excellent in his work. Secretariat staff is also very kind and helpful for us. Thank you very much for providing this opportunity that we can share our experience and knowledge with the rest of the members. And this is one of the good initiative taken by Asian associations to be engaged especially during the COVID situation. We also member of SINVO, that is a COMSTEC consortium for the Inter-Islamic Network of Open Universities, where all the Islamic countries, open universities and virtual universities are member of that association. And I was discussing with the executive, because we are also executive committee member of that association, and giving the examples of Asian Association, how they engage the universities in this pandemic situation. So really appreciable. I'm not consuming much time. And as my colleague and my senior professor from Vice Chancellor in Open University Malaysia has shared his experience, I will share something from the Allama Iqbal Open University, and also having the global scenario where we have the things in the pre-COVID, during COVID, and especially the post-COVID, because this pandemic is, I don't think that it is over. We will have this in different shapes and different scenarios and perspectives and dimensions. So there is a paradigm shift in the world that we are thinking that we will cover this distance might be in 50 years or 20 years, but we covered in just 2 years or less than 2 years. And this is the change that we can see in the low and underdeveloping countries also. So the topic that we are going to discuss, the challenges and opportunities of ODL in post-COVID-19 situation. As Professor from Open University Malaysia talk about the university, I will also having a brief about the Open University Pakistan. This is the first open university in Pakistan. At that time in 1974, it was the second in the world after UK Open University. So Allama Iqbal Open University have a long history of 47 years in the area of open and distance learning. And in 1974, it was with People's Open University. Later on, it was with Allama Iqbal Open University. Allama Iqbal is actually our national poet who gave the dream of independent countries of Pakistan. So this is the one of the mega university with currently 1.3 million students. We have 4 faculties and more than 40 departments in 4 faculties. Because this is the national university all over Pakistan, so we have about 54 regional campuses and more than 90,000 part-time tutors are our force to facilitate the academic activities of our students. More than 180 programs that we are offering from grade 9 to PhD level, and more than 2,500 courses are under these 180 programs. Until now, the university have about 4.6 million students, means the graduates, and that mostly the working class, and more than 50% is the ratio is the female. So this is a great contribution in at the national level of Allama Iqbal Open University, creating all these things for the country. The 1.3 million students having international students also. Currently, we have about more than 25 countries students, especially the overseas Pakistani, but we do have the international students from US. We have the international students of Chinese students. So not only limited to the national level, it is international enrollment also. The pre-COVID situation in Pakistan is same like the other Asian countries of our region. And is what do I say that it is almost the same all over the world. If we go to the pre-COVID situation, the Pakistan is with about 230 formal universities, in which only 2 universities are on virtual and open distance learning. One is Allama Iqbal Open University, and the second that we are talking about, we are talking about the former universities. So the currently Pakistan is with 305,763 institutions that included the colleges, universities, and the schools. And we are accommodating about 50 million students in these institutions, and more than 2 million teachers are working in these institutions, in which about 62% are public institutions and 38% are private institutions, including 31,000 or 32,000 Dini madrasas that we have for the religious education and for the formal system of education. So this is a huge network in Pakistan, also like Indonesia and Malaysia, that all these institutions were closed during the COVID-19 situation. And the situation from the pre-COVID-19, all these institutions was open. The students were engaged in normal routines in the classrooms. They are enjoying the social interaction with the teacher and students, and having classes in their school and institution. But and the same situation that we see all over the world, that the number of countries that number of countries with school closer during the COVID-19, if we see on the 2020 at the beginning of the COVID, we can see a huge change that the schools, mostly the education institutions, were closed within a few months rather than the few years. So that's a big change that we can see at the pre-COVID situation. And the same that we see the expenditures that we have pre-COVID, that we are having expenditures on our education system. About you can see that means more than 18% in the Chile, and the lowest is the rest of the countries. But this situation was totally changed when we have the pre-COVID situation. All the expenditures, all the economical flow was not on towards the education, it was towards the health sector. So this change creating problem for the closure of the institutions, having alternates in the pre-COVID situation, but this was not under the control of the governments of different countries. Then during the COVID, we also see that how we can open and reopen the schools. We have different alternatives. We have different strategies, and these strategies are now evolved with the experience that we can do the things in the pandemic situations. The class size was also the challenge at the pre-COVID situation. In the formal system, in face-to-face, we have about 50 to 60 participants in the schools, and in the lower classes, and the higher classes about 30 to 40 in Pakistan and especially subcontinent. But in COVID situation, when the situation changed, it was not possible for the teachers to have such number of students in their online classes. So because they were not trained, they were not equipped with the digital literacy, they were not trained on to teach online system. Then during COVID, we saw that everything was closed, and we were closed at homes also. We were not having opportunities to go outside, see the people, having opportunities for the face-to-face interaction. So the closed education institutions, more than 5 million in Pakistan, they were all closed. Even that the Dini madrasas, mosques, all closed because of this during COVID situation. It was very horrible situation. And the best thing that we experienced in Pakistan, the Allama Iqbal Open University, like other open universities, was not closed. And we were on regular basis doing all activities without any hindrance and problems. And that was the situation where all the universities, institutions, and even government, Federal Ministry of Education, they were looking towards the Allama Iqbal Open University and open and distance learning universities in the world. And we provided all the support that we have experience of 47 years. We created the online courses for them. We offer our online courses to the educational institutions. We have the government of Pakistan to establish the education television, where we call it a teleschool, that engaged the hundreds and thousands, millions of students that were stuck at their homes. They were engaged on television, having their classes on asynchronous basis, that we try to engage them. That is not 100% alternate of face-to-face classes, but that we provided them some alternatives that they will be having academic activities. So during COVID, we saw and we witnessed that the systems were evolved. In Pakistan also, the more than 200 universities, they were not able to engage their students, and they started with different options like Google Meets, Times, Microsoft Teams. All these things were available for them, and the government invested a lot of money also to purchase all these softwares and communication devices for them. But the one thing that we have experienced, that they were not able to use all these things because they were not having training and capacity to use all these things. And then there was a high volume of means observations and hide and cry in the society. The students was also in panic. The parents were in panic also. So during COVID situation, the education was provided with alternative means, but not suitable for all of the education institutions in Pakistan. We tried many things during the COVID situation. Allama Iqbal Open University already offering online programs. So these programs were not limited to the Allama Iqbal Open University students. These were also available for the schools and colleges and universities of the country. And recently, during the COVID situations, we also having some projects to train the faculty members of the schools and colleges and universities. We trained them on to how to develop online courses, how to develop the e-content, open education resources, how to use it. And then especially the one thing is very important all over the world, especially in the Asian countries and in Pakistan also, that was the assessment part. This was the main challenge that we have faced during the COVID-19. And what we have different alternatives for the assessment of to check the performance output of the students on the objectives that we have set for them. That was the open-ended or open book education assessment system. We also having the online means face-to-face assessment with the students, but number of students was too high that we cannot accommodate all of them. But a few programs like science, chemistry, physics, and biology, where we have the number of students less than means the thousands, we have this strategy to check, to assess or evaluate the student performance. But mostly during the COVID situation, we have open-ended examination where we have challenges, questions for the students. We gave them about 10 to 12 hours to answer all these questions in their perspectives. And we also checked with the plagiarism softwares that is not copy and paste of the material, but that is actual, the critical analysis, evaluation and assessment of what they have learned during the semester and during the academic year. So we trained about more than 200 faculty members of the universities. They were master trainers, and now they are able to develop their own online courses for the universities. And this is one of the paradigm shift that we have saw and experienced in Pakistan also, that most of the Pakistani universities, more than 200 former universities, now they are shifted on the blended and hybrid mode of education. They are not bounded and they are not limited on the formal education that they are providing before means the COVID-19. Now they are thinking and they are serious about that, how we can meet all these challenges, and especially the economical challenge that they were facing. So now they're offering the hybrid and blended mode of educational programs. And another policy shift is from the government side, that the government of Pakistan, means the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, now accepting that was challenging for the Open University of Pakistan and the Virtual University to have a recognition of online programs from the government of Pakistan and Higher Education Commission. But this, I mostly say on the different platforms, that this COVID is sometime, I say that is a blessing for us, that we shifted our system that might took about 20 years to come on the online system in Pakistan, that we changed and shifted just within 1.5 years and 2 years. Now the policies are developed, the frameworks are available, quality assurance rules and regulations are developed by the Higher Education Commission for the ODL and the online program. So this is what I'm saying, that is a blessing for us. And we are saying that, is this an opportunity for us for after the post-COVID-19 situation? Yes, definitely. Especially when I talk and having means the reference with the Pakistan. Yes, this is blessing for us. That is, the post-COVID-19 is an opportunity for us to shift our programs and use the new technologies and trends in our education system. What the challenge is, the one of the paper that I have consulted, because that is also relevant with our talk, that what challenges that we faced during the COVID situation in Pakistan. The these are the common and general challenges that we face in different countries, and at different forums. Whenever we have talked, we said that's the challenges that we are facing during the COVID-19 situation. And still, I'm saying these are the challenges for the ODL and open distance online programs especially in the Asian countries and subcontinent. For example, the computer literacy, one of the challenge, not only limited to the students, believe me, this is the challenge for even that for the teachers, especially teachers in schools. They are not digital literate. They are not able to use the devices, communication devices and software. And another challenge that we face, that is economical internet connections and the packages for the students. The Allama Iqbal University have signed the MOU and agreement with different telcos in Pakistan, and we provided very economical internet connectivity for our students. That is about 50 GB in just 500 rupees. 500 rupees means less than $2 or $3. And then another challenge that we face is connectivity. So in this internet connectivity, especially for the northern areas of Pakistan, the far-flung areas where the connection was very weak, so we provided them opportunity with the asynchronous mode, and sometimes we call them with the social distance and the precautionary measures of the COVID-19 to come our regional campuses. Our regional campuses are equipped with the online this video conferencing, and they can attend the classes with the distance. Availability of communication devices, yes, just like the mentioned by the professor, Vice Chancellor of Open University in Malaysia. Unfortunately, we were not able to provide the communication devices to our students. But in Pakistan is one of the top 5 countries having smartphones with the society, means the communities. So most of our students with the smartphones, so they were able to connect with our education system. Technical issues, the Allama Iqbal University, one of the richest university in Pakistan, so we don't feel have any economical challenge that we can come up with a technical team was available, ICT team was equipped. The Vice Chancellor himself is a professor of AI and e-learning, so he was leading us during this COVID situation. Social status, that's very important, especially for the subcontinent countries where the students needs the interaction with the teachers, interaction with the students. So social status, one of the challenge that we face. Self-motivation, because this is one of the challenge of open distance learning. Here, the student should be self-motivated. Missing pre-admission counseling, that was not possible, but we have orientation sessions online for our students. Also missed the admission counseling, missing copies of the materials because the Allama Iqbal University providing the hard copies and the means of printed books to the students. So we shifted them on the e-versions of the book. And face-to-face induction meetings were not possible, face-to-face counseling of classes, difficulties in assignment submissions because the students were used to have handwritten assignments, and then they have the scanned copy or converting into PDF and then uploading on the learning management system. This was linked with the digital literacy. They were not able, so they have the help from different peoples. They go for the internet cafe and they have the help from them. Difficulty in conducting practicals, because this is one of the challenge for the face-to-face subjects like chemistry and physics and biology. So that was a big challenge for us, that we were not able to have the practical components. The different sport live video communications, we also use all these, some of these, but mostly all over the world, they're using Zoom, Google Meet, Log, Life Size Go, Slack video calls. So all these communication devices and live video was putting for during the COVID situation. What opportunities that we have after this and a post-COVID situation? These are the few points that we extracted from our experience, that this was the opportunity, the COVID situation after post-COVID, that we educating our students through open and distance learning, not by the Open University, but all the former universities also and educational institutions included. school, colleges, and the madrasas. Digital learning, this is the one of the opportunity that created during the the COVID-19 situation. And this is a very big change that we have saw in our system or in our communities, not only by the students, but other part of the communities. For example, the housewives, they were not able to use the online shopping, but during this COVID situation, they were now used to, they're able to shop online. And this is digital learning that we have saw not only in our students, but in other part of the communities. Quick changes in mindset. This is a change theory background. Mindset change and the practices change required a lot of times, but this opportunity, the COVID-19, that have a quick change in mindset of a different stakeholder of education institutions like government, peoples, educational administrators, students, parents, teachers, all sectors of education institutions. Offering online programs that was limited to the few universities. Now all the universities have shifted online programs. Conducting online admission process. Our admission process that took about 3 months. Now we are shifted online admission process from grade 9 to Ph.D. and it solved the problems of within less than 1 month. And that is all digital. And we spent about more than 60 million rupees to purchase the Oracle solution. That includes CMS, LMS, and ERP. That's giving us a lot of help to conclude all these matters within few days. Efficient use of the electronic media for sharing information, like the social media, explore the use of soft copies of the study materials that is common and in use. Explore the idea of online induction meetings. Now we are used to having meetings in our offices. Otherwise, in universities, it took about 2 meetings and consumed the whole day. Now we are attending more than 5 to 6 meetings in a day with our own work in our offices without wasting time and energy and means the economical matters. So that is more convenient and approachable for us. Conducting online counseling, storage of recording in web, that is the archive that we have, submitting assignments online, conducting online meetings and worldwide exposure also. In during COVID situation and post-COVID situation, Allama Iqbal Open University mostly engaged the international speakers and the intellectuals for our students in different timings. We sometimes call from Indonesia, from Hong Kong, Professor Lee, from Canada, America. So wherever we have the networking, we use all these intellectuals, means having the help of intellectuals that to benefit and giving the worldwide exposure to our students. What are the suggestions that after the COVID situation, post-COVID, that we think about all these things at the government level and at the institutional level? Online platforms with enhanced safety and safeguarding measures for our students. The devices must have the latest software updates and antivirus programs because now everything is online. So the universities and the government seriously think about all these things. And the government of Pakistan Higher Education Commission already invested a lot of money and facilitating the universities with software, latest softwares and devices, and giving even the laptop to the students of the graduates levels. The government should also create awareness on online education with safety measures for learners and take measures to create awareness on cyber security. And we, Allama Iqbal Open University, also spent a lot of money on our cyber security because our data is very important. And believe me, what we have for next 5 years is the game of data. So we have to protect our data, otherwise we will lose our many things. So the world is working on data. The cyber security and data security is one of the important factor for the open and distance learning universities. When we have the 1.2 million students, 3 million students, our responsibility to protect the data and cyber security for them. When there is an option of using online platform for their study at home, some of them are unable to utilize online platform of education. So we have to have the digital literacy for them, spending more time on virtual platform, also distract the students in different acceptable activities. So we are very much careful about all these things. What we did in Allama Iqbal Open University, we provided them economical internet connectivity packages, 50 GB package for less than $3 to $4. And in that package, 50% of the package or internet data was only for the Allama Iqbal Open University activity. So we limited them to use the internet, means the data for the academic activities. Yes, they have 50% for YouTube or other social medias, but mostly there was with the academic activities. So some learners may not have received prior information on online classes or induction meeting schedule, leading to missing of the online events. So the institution should take proper step to send prior information to the learner on any online sports services. So this is the one of the thing that what we did in with the asynchronous mode, providing prior information to the students that they can be prepared for the next lesson or next activity. Let me conclude with this important quote that yesterday I was having an article with the University of Oxford professor, and what she was saying that after COVID-19, there is a risk that the world could be yet more divided. This is a risk that might be. The conflictual and nationalistic approach will be developed after the COVID-19. But an alternate scenario is within reach. And what is that one? In this scenario, collective action within communities and where necessary, internationally, will make a more rapid and peaceful exit from the crisis possible. So what she is saying, having more collaboration with each other, because this is not possible for one institution to having all these things online, e-content and e-assessment or everything. This is the possibility with collaboration within the country, outside means at the international level. And we will be successful even that if we have the more COVID-like situations in future, we are having experience of all these things. So we are well prepared, and hopefully with collaborative interaction and activities, we will be much successful in future. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Really, we had a wonderful session. So both the presentation, we learned many things regarding this ODL and during that COVID-19 situation. So definitely students will reveal that what they have learned, but they want to know further through the question that they have already sent in the chat box. Even the students, they want to, they have already raised the hand to ask the question, they can. So now we have moved, we have come to the point questioning. So students can ask, they can raise their question, and also the questions are displayed here. So I can read the question, the respective speaker will answer to that question. So the question, you know, for the professor, the eminent speaker, the first speaker, Dr. Associate Professor Izanee Awang. So that the question is, you mentioned about that examination held during, before and during the pandemic, and the different approach of assessment system that you institution has applied. I want to know how you measure that validity, reliability, quality, integrity, and originality of test results of the students who sit in online examination. How can you avoid cheating during the online examination? Thank you. Sir, it's over to you, sir. The question is.
Thank you, and thank you for the question. This is a very valid question from the audience. And of course, issues related to examination is very crucial to ensure the credibility and the validity and reliability of the exam conduct. So as I mentioned in my presentation this morning, just now, we try to minimize number of subjects with the final examination. So we review the assessment method, maybe for wherever possible, we try to make it fully coursework and without final exam, etc., etc. For the subjects with the final exam, the questions are designed such a way that it is an open book examination. So there is no issue of cheating in that sense. For the MCQ types questions, the questions are generated randomly from the Q bank. And even though the students are sitting next to each other, the questions, we ensure that the questions that they get are different set of questions, because we have reached, a big number of questions in the question bank, and our system will generate the question randomly from the question bank. For the essay type answer, when they submit their answer, the system will automatically run the similarity check. It's like Turnitin. So the system will identify should there be overlapping, or they copy from other sources and wherever. This similarity check will come up with a report how many percent of overlapping from the student based on the answer given by the student. Then we have the certain scale, and we penalize based on the report that we generate from the similarity check system. As I mentioned also this morning, we are developing and finalizing online exam proctoring system. This is very important, where we can ensure the candidates who are sitting for the exam is the genuine one. This is about authentication. So throughout the examination, the system will capture randomly at any time, at any moment during the exam, when they sit for the exam. So this one will the image will be matched with the database that we have of that particular student. Those are basically the initiative and measures that we are taking in order to make sure the online examination takes place very well, and there is no doubt about the credibility. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Yes, sir. It's a clear explanation for the question. I hope the particular participant has understood the answer clearly. So with that, we move to the next question. So it goes to Dr. Majeed, sir. The question is, how do you optimize the partnership with domestic and international partners in improving the quality of students' learning services in the future? It's over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for a very important question, that how we can optimize the partnership with the domestic and international partner in improving the quality of students' learning services in the future. Yes, this is one of the challenge that the open and distance learning university is facing, not only in Pakistan, but many countries having the observation about quality of students' learning services provided by the open distance learning universities. What measures we have at the domestic or national level, that we are having the best criteria to select the teachers or the resource persons and tutors for our students, that if the student means the teacher teaching to the students of the undergraduate, he or she must have the graduate degree and having at least 5 years of experience in teaching of that level of education institution. So we also having some quality measures to check the quality teaching of our tutors and teachers, that also providing some feedback and means the situation that where our teachers and resource persons, how they are working. So the domestic levels, the measures that we already having all these things. And for the international partners, yes, we are also conscious about to select the partners when we having the educational inputs from them. For example, Allama Iqbal Open University having the international partnership with mostly with the open distance learning universities like University of Terbuka, Open University Japan, Open University China, Open University of Netherlands, and these international partners are Thabasca University, UNISA. So these international partners are already having quality education for their students. And when we having the partnership with them, that's giving us the opportunity for the quality learning for our students. But in our case, that we mostly base with the domestic capacity that we have, means the teachers that we engage for our students, and where we have a very strict measures of the quality criteria. For international, we have less than 2% partnerships where we engage them for the quality measures, but definitely for the quality measures, we also engage the different quality agencies that they check the quality of our education system and giving us the suggestions how we can improve it. So the domestic and international partners, those are means the components that we including in our quality of students learning services. We're providing them the quality content, we're providing them the technology solutions. As I said, that we also providing them internet connectivity, economical packages. So all these parameters are including in the quality of students learning services. And the most important thing is the students' feedback. I mean, the student support services that we having for them. But unfortunately, most of our open distance learning university has a very weak component of the student support services. That's ultimately matter with the quality of students learning services. The content, the teachers, technologies, solutions, devices, and the student support services that we have in open distance learning that help us for the quality of students learning services. And that can be possible with good measures and better solutions for our students in the future also.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the clear explanation for the question. I hope the student has understood the clear idea about the answer of Dr. Majeed, sir. So we can move the next question. So the next question goes to the best speaker, our eminent Professor, Vice Chancellor of the University of Malaysia. During the COVID-19 pandemic, as you mentioned, that OUM recruited more than 700 tutors. Were they well prepared for that? And how did you manage their preparation? How will the situation be further maintained in the post-COVID-19 era? Thank you. It's over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you. This is related to the quality of the tutors that we appointed. Yes, we recruit more than almost 800 online tutors throughout the country to manage the online classes. They are basically well prepared because before COVID, we have more than 3,000 tutors. So among them, we selected the best. I mean, I assume we selected the top 700 tutors who are based on our record, based on the evaluation from the students. They are well versed in online matters. So, okay, I turn on my video. Sorry, I turn on my video. Yeah. So basically, they are good tutors, and we have conducted training. We have given training, online training to them to make sure they are. I mean, they are familiar with what we want to do. And also, in fact, last month we conducted this symposium, conference for our tutors, just to make sure they are given proper training and proper knowledge on how to conduct these online things. So basically, we want to make sure they are well prepared by giving trainings, proper training, and by selecting the good tutors based on the criteria that we have set. So that's, I hope that will answer your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the clear explanation for the question. I Hope that student has understood. So with that, we are getting more questions in the chat box also. So taking account the time limitation, we can read the question quickly. So here in the display also, there is another question. It goes to Dr. Majeed, sir. You mentioned about shifting paradigms in opening the shifting paradigms must be challenging, particularly in a short period of due to COVID-19 pandemic. How did the conventional university in Pakistan respond to the change? What kind of role did the AAOU play to the help the conventional universities?
Thank you very much. Let me have a brief, a short answer of the previous two questions about the quality. As Professor Ahmad is mentioned about the 700 tutors that they have selected from thousands of tutors for the quality assurance. In my previous questions, that was for domestic and international partners. I missed the one important point that we have the international partner with the UK Open University. And we have invested about £100,000 to develop the e-tutors training toolkit for our 150,000 tutors. That is the international partner of UK Open University. That is a quality assurance of university in distance learning. So Allama Iqbal Open University and UK Open University jointly developed e-tutors training toolkit for the newly inducted tutors in our open and distance learning. And that is mostly for the open distance learning, means the online learning. So we develop about 4 modules for them. And that's training is about self-paced training is online training on platform. Sorry, for about 40 hours training. And that is also accredited by the UK Higher Education Commission or Pakistan Higher Education Commission. So we have the master trainers with the help of UK Open University, and they are now trained to about 100,000 tutors in Pakistan. Another important step has been taken by Allama Iqbal Open University, that we have created tutors allocation system, that we are not allocating tutors manually. We have the data of all the tutors, the system having the output and performance of the tutors, and from 100,000 plus tutors, the criteria is given to the system, and the system self-generating quality tutors for our students. And that is also important for the system, that they change the tutors panel for the next semester. They have the 50% new and 50% old, but old tutors means the previous semester tutor will have more than 80% performance in their last semester. So this is the one of the quality measures that we have taken for the quality assurance framework and the international and domestic partnership for quality students learning performance. The question is very important, and I already mentioned in my talk that the Allama Iqbal Open Universities was the only one solution and a solution for the government of Pakistan from a conventional university and education institution. I remember in April and May 2020, the World Bank team was engaged with the Federal Ministry of Education, Pakistan. And they were looking towards the university that they help the schools and colleges and university for this COVID situation solution. They visited many universities. At the last, they heard about Allama Iqbal Open University. The ministry, secretary of the Ministry of Education and the minister himself with the World Bank team, they visited Allama Iqbal Open University. They check our capacity and experience. And finally, they said, this is the only solution for Pakistan that we can go to have a solution for this COVID situation. So the conventional university were helped by the Allama Iqbal Open University, not only for training capacity building of the teachers, but we also help them to develop the e-content, helping them for the e-assessment also. So the conventional university responded at the start, like other universities and countries, very slow, restricted, having some resistance. of the change, but gradually when they saw that there is no other solution and they have the help from the Allama Iqbal University and Virtual University, they were ready to have this online system. At the start, they were resistant, but with the passage of time and the policies that compel them to have this system, they were having this, and now they are capable for the hybrid and blended learning in their conventional system. So Allama Iqbal University role with the government to develop the school television for the school children. We also help the government of Pakistan for the tele-radio, that radio educational activities for the students over far-flung areas where the connectivity and TV was not available. So we have the government of Pakistan to have the radio, tele-radio, we call it tele-radio, means giving academic classes to the students, school level students at the far-flung areas. We also have the universities for the capacity building, developing the e-content and e-assessment. But what I say that there is a big change in the conventional university. They are ready and they are prepared for this online learning, online education.
Thank you, sir. It's clear to the participant, I hope. So we will move to the next question. This question goes to our respective Professor Dr. Ahmad, sir. The question is, I enjoyed your presentation. OUM has a rich experiment in delivering ODL. Do you have any information how do private university, so more than 400 university site, so it has mentioned in bracket, cope with this about change? Are they ready as institution within bracket curriculum and other teaching learning support system, bracket finished? Are the students also prepared and ready? It's over to you, sir.
Thank you, Diana, for the questions.
Yeah.
Yes, when the government of Malaysia announced that students have to go online classes, I mean, the programs must be offered through online. There's no physical, attending to the campus for studying. So everybody, everyone, all institutions were anxious to offer online programs. But unfortunately, when they were about to take off, to embark on this online thing, they discover that they are not ready, basically, with all sorts of requirements. Yes, initially they thought that online offering online learning is by having Google Meet and virtual classes. That's all. But when they actually implement it, they found that they need a learning management platform, they need to have a digital content, they need to have a digital library and other online support for learning. So basically, I would say that they are not ready. That's why OUM has taken advantage of this situation by offering to other institutions what we have, for example, online learning platform, digital content, etc., and this can become our other source of income. So that's why, as I said this morning, when the government announced that policy, so OUM has all it takes for us to go fully online. So in a short way, I would say that basically the used to be conventional institutions in the country were not exactly ready to embark on this fully online offering. In terms of the students, most of our students, I believe this also happened in other countries. The young ones are ready because they are internet savvy. But for OUM, there are certain percentage of our learners who we have to admit that there are certain percentage of our learners who are not IT savvy and are not quite keen. But generally, when we conducted survey, more than 70% of our students preferred to study online. So we are trying to cater the small percentage of the students by making our online learning process is simpler and we have to have a user-friendly apps to make sure every student will have good experience in online learning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the clear answer. I hope that Diana will get the point for this question. So still we are getting more questions in the chat box, but considering the time, so we can understand considering the number of questions, how the participants have understood the session. So it's very wonderful. So with that, I hope it's the last point of my moderation part. So the students who are still sending the questions, you can make clear about the question when Professor Dr. Majeed sir and Professor Ahmad sir, when they will have the opportunity again, once again in future. So with that, as a moderator, I want to tell, even as a participant, I learned a lot from these two eminent speakers regarding ODL. Even Open University is one of the main part of ODL system. So with that, I learned a lot. I frankly say, as a participant, I learned, though I am a moderator. So with that, I once again thank for this great presentation, both of our eminent speakers from different universities, Professor Dr. Ahmad sir from Open University Malaysia, Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Majeed sir, Ahmad University, Open University, Pakistan, Islamabad. So these two presentations were very good, and we learned a lot, we enjoy a lot with more meaningful information and knowledge. So with thanking for the two eminent speakers, once again, I come to this end point of this moderation. I thank for this opportunity, for giving me, for inviting me as a moderator, Assistant Secretary AAOU, and the President and the Minister, all eminent speakers, participants. I'm really happy to be a part of this webinar. So now I hand over this session to the respective Assistant Secretary of the AAOU. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vive. Doctor, thank you. Also, thank you to Dr. Ahmad, Izanee, Awang, and Dr. Zahid Majeed for the presentation. As Dr. Vive just mentioned, there are some other questions who are not answered. I hope that the committee or the secretariat will post the questions to YouTube, and kindly Dr. Zahid Majeed and Dr. Ahmad, Izanee, Awang can check the YouTube and respond. And anyone who missed some points during our webinar, you can re-watch our webinar in UTTV. Just if you opened YouTube, you just type UTTV and then you can see our recording. Well, before we proceed, there is one question from, I think it's from Universitas Terbuka students who are asking for scholarship students exchange program. And then thank you very much. And then we will consider, and for your information, that the several days ago, we are discussing about this program. Hopefully next year or in the end of this year, after the COVID-19 is getting down and down, and then we can hold a students exchange program just for students. For your information, at the present, we have staff exchange program. For the next year, hopefully we can have student exchange programs among the AAOU members.
Excellent.
Before we end this program, we would like to hand over the certificate to our speakers and also to our moderators virtually. Our committee here has prepared the certificate, please. Okay, this is a certificate for Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Izanee Awang as a keynote speaker today. And then hopefully you can accept this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Nice.
Thank you. And the next certificate to Dr. Zahid Majeed. Thank you very much, Dr. Zahid Majeed.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Is to our moderator, Mr. Raveenthiran Vivekanantharasa.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for this gratitude.
Thank you. And then, all right. Thank you. Yes. Okay. We are from the AAOU are pleased to encourage everyone who are with us today to submit your paper to the AAOU Journal. Especially proud to inform you that the AAOU Journal has now been indexed on Scopus. There will be also a benefit authors can get from being published in the AAOU Journal. Excuse me. Authors must have a chance to get registration fee waiver to the 35th AAOU conference this year on 2 to 4 November 2022 in Korea. Last but not least, don't forget to fill out the feedback form to complete the condition to get e-certificate of this webinar. Before we end, I would like to ask you if you have ideas who wants to be invited in our webinar in the next session, please do not hesitate to send us email. Please open our official website, and there is our website there, our email there. So we need your comment, feedback for our better next AAOU webinar. So this is the link that you can click. And then for your information, the link will be available only open for 3 hours. Don't forget, this is your chance to have the e-certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, the presidents of the AAOU, our keynote speaker and the moderator, and also to all viewers, attendees of our webinar today, I would like to thank you very much for attending our webinar. Stay safe and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Selamat siang.
Thank
Have a
you
nice
so
day.
much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih Pak Rahmat dan Pak Ojat. InsyaAllah kita jumpa lagi. Selamat berpuasa pada Muslim.
Amin,
Dan selamat menyambut hari Lebaran 2 minggu lagi insyaAllah.
Amin.
Jazakumullah khair. Jazakumullah khair.